for you to have an amazing business and for you to create amazing work with your clients, you have to have an awesome ability to collaborate with them. As much as you're getting hired as an agency to deliver something, the only way for that delivery to be at the caliber of creativity and execution you want and get the results the client want, that at its core, it is a creative collaboration. I'm Harry B. I'm a creative director / creative entrepreneur who owned his own agency, who worked with amazing clients over the years like Bloomingdale's, Adidas, L'Oreal, to name a few, and is now created this channel to help creatives and creators get out on their own and start their own agencies, or people who have started their own agencies have advice to hopefully make them be more successful. Because I do wholeheartedly believe that if you are creative, that you should not only do amazing work, but do amazing work for yourself and for your own business. And this week, I'm going to talk about what I think is super, super important, which is based on one of my founding values of creative collaboration. It's how you can better creative collaborate with your clients. Like I said, I think we should just change this term. I mean, a relationship is the core. You do have a relationship with these people, but when you see great work in the world, can only come from a moment of great collaboration between a great agency and a great client. So my experience, I'm going to take it back to a story of Bloomingdale's. So Bloomingdale's was my client for, I don't know how many years, 3 or 4 years. And I did some work that I was super, super proud of. We were also recognized by Instagram as like best retailer on Instagram. We did a lot of work, a lot of focus. This was like the heyday of Instagram. I think we grew from 250,000 followers to 750,000 followers in 6 months, and then on to 1 million. Just organically. This is before crazy algorithm days where you just did like cool, interesting, engaging content and was able to get new followers. And this work that I'm so proud of, which I'll talk a little bit more about, was enabled by me and my client at the time, JP, really like having a really amazing collaboratory style and method. And I actually kind of miss it. And the thing about, I always say, like, there's a couple of things that can happen. And like, you know, sometimes I say we client our clients is a saying I say, and it means that like we help our clients like meet deadlines and kind of do all the background sometimes when clients like need help being cliented. But also, I've done the best work because clients have pushed me, and JP is an amazing example of that, of not like, part of a collaboration is not only what that person brings and what you bring, but I think a great collaboration for me is actually doing something that I couldn't do on my own, like beyond what I was doing. And it's not only that person bringing their skill set, but that person pushing me to go beyond what I thought was capable. And that is the case of JP and Bloomingdale's. Always, always, always questioning, why are we doing this? How are we doing this? How can we do it better? Like kind of at times almost like driving me crazy with like getting so focused on the details. And I'm like, no, the idea is great. And he's like, and just having that look where it's like, no, it could be better. As frustrating and annoying can be in a situation, looking back, I did some of my proudest work. And what was I proud of? So first it was the heyday of Instagram and kind of Instagram influencers were being born. We created this personification of this girl who like never saw her face because she was just kind of our Bloomingdale's unnamed persona that was living this life of New York of like basically like an influencer. She would eat at the coolest little cafes and she would always be dressed in what Bloomingdale's had to offer, whether it was like the hottest little handbag to accessories like glasses to full outfits. And like she always kind of like, I don't know. We always had this like undeniable optimism, and we had the power of New York City as our backdrop. And one of my favorite posts that was kind of great was like it was a rainy day in New York, which is like, oh my god, when you're coming into fall and it just starts to get rainy and it gets dark really early, and it's just like you're just holding on. And we just had this photo of her in the middle of like Broadway with this purple umbrella, and the line was a simple thing, an excuse to use my purple umbrella. So it's just like always kind of bringing this like kind of twist and optimism that we always kind of looked for, and really kind of finding ways for this not to feel like the voice of a brand. Yeah, it was super fun. And we were just, at that time, just to give context, we were creating something of 30 to 60 pieces of content a month for Bloomingdale's. And that was, our process was we'd kind of do briefs and we kind of concept out. First, we would get the key kind of, products that we need to focus on. Then we would concept out these ideas. We'd present it to the client. JP would kind of work us to get to the place we were super proud of. Then we'd go out and shoot. And sometimes we'd have to revise some of that content if, again, it wasn't. But we had a very specific, like, you could only change like 3 or 4. So we had like one extra shoot day. And all this was done at the 88, where we had an internal production house. So we had our own, on-staff photographer, on-staff producer, and we would like work with a group of models that, again, we were just not seeing their faces, but they would like living this life and kind of building this personification of our character. So like I said, super psyched in the work. We had to build process together. So first and foremost, for a great collaboration, you need to at scale. And also there's different types of collaboration. There's project collaborations where you're just like doing a project where it's just like, we're just focused on like getting together. It's just like, let's go. And we just bring our best to the table and we just go and we charge it and we get it done. This was a retainer relationship, right? So this is a collaboration that went on for years. And the challenge with retainers is like, the relationship can't go dry, right? And you have to keep on pushing each other and you have to keep on like outdoing yourself, right? You can never rest on your laurels, or you can never rest on past projects or past work. It's always about doing it. So, whether it was, going from Instagram to Snapchat and going from Snapchat to launching Snapchat. At that time, it was those like, not even those augmented filters, but those like kind of like still filters you'd put over things, to like working with influencers. Like, we were always trying to up the ante tactically, but also staying within the scope that we agreed on, right? And resources. So it's like this collaboration has to take on many forms, right? It's like you can only over deliver so much, but you have to make sure that the quality of the stuff that you're building together is keeping them excited. A great collaboration at its core has to be exciting. And I do firmly believe that like the energy of a piece of content that you see on Instagram when you're scrolling, and that terrible term like thumb stopping content, wasn't just because it was a great idea and like well crafted. It's also because there was this exciting and this moment in creation that's kind of captured, that's like deeper and subtle and below the surface of just what you're seeing. And that excitement working together to like, and you're pushing each other to kind of make it better, or like kind of just do this a little different, or just when you're sometimes you're just tired, right? You've been going at this for like months now. You're doing like all this content every month, and you're just like, what works. You've built this character, but like you're not like pushing ideas. And you show that calendar, and JP would just look across and just kind of give me a no, and I'm just like, couldn't be less psyched. Like literally, like inside, it's like one of those pictures of those buildings like imploding. You're just like, oh, like deflated. You just know at that point, I just need to like take a walk around the block, have another shot of espresso, and just get back with the team and kind of jump at it again. But like in that moment, that's part of a collaboration. It's like, it's not always like we just get together and it works perfect. It's like, it's got to be those moments when you're like, when the person looks at you and is like, you didn't get it. You're like, fuck. I put my, it's like, we were up late last night. Oh my God, I raced here in the morning and I was in the cab texting an idea. Like, does it matter? It's like, that person has to hold you accountable to what is the best work you can do. In a collaboration, you both agree that we're going to do the best work we both can do. And sometimes that is being pushed into places that you don't even want to go. But then looking back, you always look back and you never regret that extra time spent, or that one more hour after work doing it, or that late night, or unfortunately sometimes it's bleeding into the weekends. That creative collaboration at Bloomingdale's didn't only affect the work I did at Bloomingdale's, it affected the whole agency. Because when you're pushed, right, when you can do it, when you get past that place of being comfortable and you succeed, you can do it again. And that is amazing. That doesn't only come from you pushing your client, it's also finding clients that push you. And I have eternal gratitude to that, to all that time with JP, always pushing it, always trying to be the first, always trying to do things we weren't doing, and having this like wonderful canvas of having this iconic brand like Bloomingdale's that not only like I knew since I was a kid, but is a institution of New York. So, having that as a backdrop and as a foundation is great. And, I thrive for that. I thrive to be challenged in a collaboration. So I want to end this with giving a shout out to JP. Thank you. You're always in my heart, my mind, and in my portfolio. And I hope that whoever's watching, they have a JP in their life. And if you don't have one, find one. That was another episode of Casual Mondays. Hope you're having a great start to the week. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Peace.